Did you already have opportunity to visit most of the regions, linear regions?
Not enough yet. I went up to Nova Gorica and Kobarid, of course. I wanted to see the World War I memorial. I've been to Bled, and now I've been to Maribor. The others I went to only because my children were visiting from America, and this is my first official visit outside of Ljubljana.
Glede na to, da je svoje delo opravljal kot diplomat do zdaj pretežno v manj razvitih deželah, nas je zanimalo, kako zelo se mu je spremenilo življenje s prihodom v Slovenijo.
It's both, to be honest, it's both easier, much easier, and in some ways harder for me. It's easier because, first off, it is safer. Secondly, the people speak English and are friendly, although people everywhere are pretty friendly. The government, I know that Slovenians have many criticisms of their government, but it's wonderful to have a government you could work with, and that's professional. People are educated, people know their jobs. That's a big difference for me. It's also more difficult because you get used to a certain sort of situation. You get used to problems. You get used to crises. And to actually have a normal environment becomes abnormal in a way. You have to readjust to having a really nice place to be.
Let's remember your days in Afghanistan. Do you think that United States and their allies are winning the war in Afghanistan?
Let me try to answer that very honestly by being careful in how I say that. The simple answer is yes. The more complicated answer is yes, but. Yes, the war is being won. Whether there's enough time, enough willpower, and enough resources to ensure the victory is still not certain, to be honest. Whether we will win, I don't think is a question. The question is whether we decide it's worth it to win. If our NATO allies decide to leave, if the American people decide that we have to leave, then of course we won't win. But if you ask me right now, even when we met a year ago almost, I think the progress has been significant. I think the real problem is that we wasted 8 years. And I may have mentioned this when I saw you long ago. I think the first 8 years of the Afghan war were wasted. We didn't do what we needed to do. We were too distracted in Iraq and elsewhere, and we didn't put in especially the civilian resources we needed. So we're starting all over. We've only really been there for a year and a half, 2 years. So it's going to be it's going to take a long time for Afghanistan to be a country like Slovenia.
You are not a protected person.
No, in fact, you may not know this, but this is the only post in all of Western Europe where the ambassador has no bodyguard. Everywhere else, they have them.
So you can move around Slovenia freely, right?
Yes.